Richard.
I'm Debbie.
And we are
Richby's Life Adventures.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome what I got.
Welcome to Richby's Life Adventures. Now, you saw us install the solar panels up on the roof. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be gas strutting, or hopefully gas strutting, the solar panels. Now, I've got some gas struts, the 170 newtons, which is quite soft for some tailgates and stuff, and they are tailgates are off of Dacia Sandero. Most tailgate struts are getting up there for 300, 400, 500 newtons, which is way too strong for what I need. I'm devising a little prototype out of timber just to double check that I'm getting the mounting position right, because I want it to elevate to a certain angle. What that angle is I don't know, I just know it's there or thereabouts. I think it's 45 degrees, don't calculate me on too much on that, but anyway, my next issue then is it too strong for the solar panel? I do plan on reinforcing the solar panel so it doesn't fold it, however I don't want it to really bang up, so I've got what I'm going to do is the prototype that I've got, I'm going to cut it to the right length of the solar panel, so it's an exact replica of the solar panel. I'm going to put lift the solar panel, put it on some scales with a piece of wood and see how much weight is on that, and then I'm going to replicate that with a bit of wood on my prototype and see what sort of effect that has. See if it's still too strong or too weak. If it's still too strong, then I'm going to have to opt for buying some weaker gas struts. So let me show you what I've done with the prototype. This is my prototype, and that'd be the angle. So imagine this is the aluminium box that I fitted, and imagine this is the solar panel, and that'd be about the sort of angle that it'd be mounted at. I think that might be about right. Now, remembering this is only held together with a self tapper for a pivot point, so it is a little bit weak, but it means that I don't have to drill loads of holes figuring out where it wants to be on the roof. I can measure from the pivot point to here, and then from the pivot point to there, and I get to know where to put the holes on the solar panel, and it should be just right the first time. So, like I said, next issue then is to figure out how much weightage is on that solar panel at the end. So if I cut this length to the same size as my solar panel, and then when it's down, or midway down, I can put weight on here until it's roughly the same amount of weight that's on the solar panel. That way then it'll tell me if my gas strut is too weak or too strong. I still think I'm edging on the too strong mark. It still seems to, let me put you down a bit and then you can see, still performs nice. It's a little bit rickety, like I said, it's only held together with one self tapper, and then that will go all the way down. It's not too bad, I think, with the weight of a solar panel. It won't be too bad, but I just want to be sure, because if I can't replicate that gas strut in length with a weaker one, and I go for a slightly longer one or slightly shorter one, then I'm going to be up against it as to whether them pivot points are right. So I need to make sure they're right before I fit them. Okay, so I'm getting 12.6 kilos. I'll divide that by 2, so it'll be 6.3, one for each side, because each gas strut is going to do the same amount. So I need to find something 6.3 kilos and mount that on the end. There you go, so all that chain there weighs 6.3 kilos. So if I measure now the length of that wood, cut it to the same length as the solar panel, mount this on the end, and I can get a true representation of what it'd be like. Alright, I've got all the weights clamped on there, operated it a couple of times, and it behaved really well. sadly, just as I went to pick up the camera and then operate it, the self tapper split out from the wood. So note to self, don't use self tapper on your solar panels into wood. So I'm quite happy with that. If I need to add a little bit of weight to the back of the solar panel, I'll do that. But I think I'm quite happy with that. It is heavy enough for it to fall down to position, but the gas strut strong enough to help you lift it and for it to stay up there without it flying up or being blown over in the wind. So now I'll set about converting them measurements to the solar panel. Okay, so we're here up on the roof. I've been and bought some aluminium angle. It's strong that way, but light. So my next puzzler is, do I mount it with the flat to that side or with a flat to the glass? You see what I mean? What I don't want it to do is flex slightly under load and touch the glass and fracture the glass. But I don't know which way is going to give it most strength. Now if I put it that way, it'll hook under that lip there, so even this side is giving it a bit more strength, and it's not actually touching the glass, it's away from the glass. So I think I'm going to do it that way. It's not going to give much strength, but that little bit of added strength is strengthening this bit up, so that when I put my gas strut on, like that, to like that, roughly, there or thereabouts, that's going to give me quite a bit of strength to that solar panel. What I don't want to do is pull down on the top and then it bends it too much here and then cracks the glass anyway. So the more strength I can add to that, the better. The reason why I want to put this on the inside as opposed to strengthening it on the outside is because I like the look of this being just a naked solar panel, so to speak. I know it's its own frame, but do you know what I mean? I don't want it to look like it's clambered up with framing and stiffening and all that. I like the look of it looking nice and lightweight. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get about that being secured with panel bond glue and rivets, and then I'll transfer my marks from that prototype wood frame and then set about mounting my gas struts like that. Then I want to work out, do I want it like that way or do I want it that way, if you catch my drift. I don't really know. I think I'll do it that way, so that the actual body of the gas strut is to the bottom. And then secure it there like that. I think that would be favourite. Right, let's not waste any more time and I'll get on. Right, panel bond adhesive made by 3M. This is designed for gluing cars together, like Lotus Elises and stuff like that. A lot of BMWs use this stuff as well. Once it goes off, it is strong. You will not break this stuff. Slide that in. I've already drilled a hole for a rivet. I've got my air riveter, but just couldn't be bothered to drag that up here. Right, hopefully you can hear me now. I couldn't be bothered. I've had to get my rivet. glue that's oozed out, I'll clean that out as well. So I'm going to put 4 in each side because the glue will do it. I've just got to be careful that I don't put that where the rivet is. I think I might even just put 3 in. One about there, maybe roughly. Oh no, that's nowhere near. Right, back again with some wipes. Hopefully I can get this off because it's a nightmare. Right, so I'm going to mount these, and I'll put a link in the description of where I bought these from off eBay. It's a 10mm ball socket, so the gas strut clicks onto there, and I'm going to mount these, one on the side of the solar panel and the other one on the side of the aluminium strut, obviously at the right distance, which is why I made the prototype to get that measurement, so I can measure from the pivot point to the pivot point of the gas strut, and from my prototype that I worked out, so I didn't have to keep guessing the holes and making mistakes. I could guess the holes in the wood, just self-tapper. Yeah, it was just a temporary self-tapper, but it meant I could do multiple holes without worrying about damaging this. It's just scrap bits of wood. So I've worked it out that wants to be 47.5 to the centre of this ball to my pivot point of the solar panel. So I'll measure that up, and then I'll use my dot punch to dot punch these holes. Now I can't use the middle hole because by that point I'm starting to get too, let me turn you around. If I use the centre hole, it's getting too close to the layer of glass, and this line here, as you can see on the panel, that denotes the thickness of the glass. So I can't put nothing, and that falls right on that line. So if I was to drill it, I would shatter the glass. These are going to be very close as they are. So I think that'll go through just nice. That glue is cured off quite nice now, so the glue on the aluminium that I put on last time on the solar panel and the rivets are now going to stiffen that up more so than just the solar panel. So it's added a little bit of extra strength so that when I put these on, it won't flex the panel so much when I try and close it. So I'm going to measure them now from the centre, 47.5 centimetres or 475mm to the centre of that ball, to the pivot point, dot punch there, drill and bolt it. This is easier said than done, balancing on a step ladder at the side of your van. If I was to get on the roof and do it, all you guys would see would be my fat backside, and you don't want to see that. So get to the centre of the pivot point, 475. A very faint mark on that, 475. I can hold that there on the centre of the mark, making sure that's flat and even. And I'll put the dot punch through there. What I might do is drill and bolt that one first, and then that'll denote where I put the other one, so then I'm not trying to hold it up. Just drill on that mark, so left a little indentation so it don't skip around. Right, so we're through. So now just double check that the bolt fits through. Again, all stainless steel bolts, stainless steel washers, stainless steel nylocks. can go through like that. And the other one. That's it. Another mark. It's daunting because that does come out close to that glass. So that should now bolt through on that one. That gives me a pivot point. Like I said, I would like to do a third one, but that is right on the glass because they are off centre. But I think that'd be strong enough anyway. Yeah. Put a couple of washers on outside. Washer and 8mm nylock. Well, it's actually a 4mm thread. Is it 5mm thread? I can't remember now, but it's a 8mm spanner size. I'm going to try and climb up there now. Right, put the washer on first. Nut, nylock nut, so it doesn't shake loose. That's that one on. One more washer. And the other one. Nylock. And on easier. Now, I've only got a short 8mm. I think I might struggle to get that over. Well, I will anyway because it's so close to the body, the glass. So I'll work it from this side. So they're on there, absolutely rock solid. So I don't think I overly needed that one. Now the trouble is on the lower section where it's the box section alley, if I've just put a bolt through there it's going to crush that. So I've got some really strong, large stainless steel rivets. So I think I'm just going to rivet that bottom one of these, this other one, onto the box section, rivet that to the bottom, and I think that'll be strong enough. And if I put some of that panel glue on there as well, that's it's going to be absolutely solid. So that's the next step, is get the bottom one put on, then I can click these gas struts on, repeat this side on the other side, and that'll be it. It'll be gas strutted. Okay, so now I'm going to mount this next one. That'll mount that way. Maybe that way. That way. So I need to measure on this one 210 or 21 centimeters from the pivot point to the center of that ball. There. Just double check. Yep, there. So that's measured that. Now I can't come down too low because the ball that goes on there is larger than that, and if I come down too low it'll bind up on the strut. So on this one as well I'm only going to manage to get them two on, and I've drilled them out bigger because my rivets are larger. So I'm going to bring them up, line that up with the centre of the hole, centre of the ball on the 21 mark. Dot punch that. That's that one, and then I'll drill that out. swarf up as I can. It's aluminium, so it's not going to rust. I just don't want it in there, up here. I will get up here and hoover out. So that one can go on there. I'll get that riveted on now, and then I nearly did it the wrong way around then. And then do the hole for the other side. Alright, mounted that. If you notice, it is slightly up. That's only to give a little bit more clearance underneath on this ball. But anyway, so lift the panel up a bit. That's the broom falling down. And this is just on one strut at the minute. And it holds it up there quite nice. Let me just come out the way properly. Put my ladder. Out nicely then. It's not holding properly, that's only on one gas strip. I think by the time I get two on there, it's going to be ideal. Okay guys, so it's all done. You can see the top of the gas strut sticking out there and there, and then these are my thumb screws. In a minute I'll demonstrate how quick and easy it is to tip up, but first I'll show you a close-up over on the gas struts. Okay, so this is the closed position. So it's all very neat, all very tidy, fully closed, and then you just see them hinges there, so it all sits very flush, very neat. Now what I'll do is I'll set the camera up and show you in real time me putting it up. Okay, this is real time of tilting the solar panels. So my thumb screws are quite long, but I wanted the extra length to give more threads and more security. I'm going to try and put a locking device on these so that they don't vibrate loose or anything like that. Probably an R-clip through a hole or something like that. That's one. It takes longer to do the thumb screws. The thumb screw, and then we just get the solar panel and it just tips up on its own. How's that? Very quiet, very neat. And then what I'm planning on doing is putting a little hook on the top bracing so that my wind out awning hook, I'll be able to reach up and grab it, because at the moment it's a bit of a stretch. But my telescopic ladder will go further than that, so it'll be easier. And that's that. So that takes quite a bit of weight out of the solar panel. Yeah, it's still quite heavy until you get it to about 8 inches, about there, 12 inches maybe, and then it just takes over itself. Right, so that wraps up tilting the solar panel. We've got all the gas struts on there, we've hinged it, we've braced it, we've strengthened it and secured it with the thumb screws. That just leaves me to get up there and vacuum out all the swarf and stuff that's up there. Probably even give it another rinse off. And that's a good thing about tilting it. I can now tilt it and I can really scrub that roof, keep on top of it. So anyway, if you like what you're seeing, please like, please subscribe, and please send us some comments. We do like the comments. Anyway, if you really feel like it, click that little bell icon and you'll get to see all our future videos. And on that note, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city